And you talked to her about, again,
Yeah.
the fact that you had not seen Evelyn.
Mm-hmm.
What happened after you made this report to the Department of Children's Services?
It was long. The detectives was up there, best I can remember.
All right. So after you report it, then you start meeting law enforcement officers
Yes,
come to talk to you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, this was sometime in February of 2020. Does that sound right?
That sounds about right.
Okay. Did you keep up? Obviously, at that point in time, you realized something was going on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you, as time went on, continue to talk to and cooperate with law enforcement? Talk to them about what was going on?
Mm-hmm.
Keep in touch with them?
Oh, yeah. We stayed in touch.
All right. Now, do you remember on March the 6th of 2020, calling the TBI?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what was the reason that you called them on that day?
Me and Ashley was talking. Her and Megan used to switch phones all the time.
Okay. Hold on. If you could, I think Mr. Scott had trouble hearing what you said.
Trouble hearing the person.
If you could start over and repeat what you just said.
About Ashley and her switching phones.
Well,
Which part?
I think the beginning part of it.
Oh, when I called TBI?
Yes.
Okay, well, before that, me and Ashley was talking. They used to switch their phones all the time.
Okay, when you say they, are you talking about
But Megan and Ashley, they'd switch their iPhones and trade backwards and forwards. Okay. And I told Ashley, I said, call that TBI guy back and tell him he can have that phone. There might be something on that phone. Because I prayed and prayed and done everything I could to help them. And they come back and got the phone.
Okay.
When they got the phone, they got to the gate and I asked Ashley, I said, what about that stuff Megan put in down there in Dad's building? She said, I don't know. I said, well, call them back and tell them to go down there and look in it.
Okay. All right. And did you all call them back?
Yeah, Ashley did.
Okay. And as a result of calling them back, did law enforcement then return to your property?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what did you do once they arrived there at your property?
I told them about the building because I come in one day and I remember seeing her car backed up to the building and the door raised.
Okay. I'm sorry, could I see Exhibit 6 again? Sorry, Judge. All right. Mr. Boswell, you see Exhibit 6, what's been previously introduced, Exhibit 6 again.
Yes, sir.
All right. There should be there's a laser pointer right there when you're standing up on your stand, witness stand right there.
This?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you push the button, can you describe a vehicle being backed up next to the shed? Can you on there point where?
This one right here.
Okay. You've indicated on there what's
right there. It's got a roll up door.
All right. That's the one directly below what's listed as residence.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so after you showed that to the law enforcement?
We went down there, I rolled the door up. There's a pile full of stuff. And as I was walking away, I saw there's her playhouse back there Dad had built for her. They said, can we look at that? And I said, do what you need to do.
Okay. Let's back up just a second. When you rolled the door up to the shed,
Mm-hmm.
all right, you saw stuff in there.
Just clothes and miscellaneous stuff like
Right.
that.
Had you at any time in the months leading up to that been in that shed at all, or had anybody been in that shed to your knowledge?
That one there where her clothes are at, yeah, sometimes we're in and out that one because we got some stuff we keep in there.
Okay. All right. So after you look in that building, where do you take law enforcement, or where do you?
I showed them where to. Let me show you on the thing.
Yes, if you don't care.
I can't really see it from here. It's right there,
Okay. Is that what's been
That-
marked as the playhouse?
playhouse.
All right.
Yeah, as I was walking away, I said, that's the playhouse my dad had built for Megan.
And when was that built for Megan?
See, we moved there in '03, probably around '04, '05. He built a barn. And when he got done building the barn, he had some leftover lumber and they he built a playhouse out of it.
All right. And that was built just for Megan?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else ever use it or play in it? Or
As far as I know, no.
And again, in the months leading up to sheriff's office showing up there, had anybody been in that playhouse?
As far as I know, no.
Okay. All right. Your property, Mr. Boswell,
Mhm.
in order to get onto the property, is there any gates or?
Yeah, I
anything
got a
for-
fence and a gate.
Okay. And what do you have to do in order to get past that
It's
gate?
like a key fob, remote control. You just push it and the gate opens.
And if you don't have the key fob, you can't open the gate.
No, but you can walk around it.
Okay. You can't drive. You can't
No,
drive.
no. There's no way you get on my property. No,
Did
gate ain't open.
did Megan have a key fob?
Yes,
So she could get onto the property if she wanted to.
yes,
Did you ever give a key fob to Hunter?
no,
Did you ever see Hunter up on your property without Megan?
no.
Mr. Boswell, do you remember giving permission? I know you said you cooperated with law enforcement.
Yes,
You remember giving permission to the sheriff's office to film the entrance to your property with a drone to show the location of that gate and where the shed and playhouse were?
yes, sir. Yeah, I remember.
Okay. And do you remember reviewing that drone footage prior to coming into court here today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did that footage accurately show the location of where your gate was, the trailer on the property, as well as the shed?
Yeah,
playhouse?
yes, nothing's changed.
Judge, there's a video drone footage that Mr. Boswell's identified. I'm going to move to make that an exhibit, and we'd ask to publish that to the jury.
Any objection? So the full exhibit number 48. You just went away. You did something. I mean, I don't think you did it. Just before you stood up, it went away. Hold on.
With that,
Yeah, I can see it.
Tell him what to do.
Judge, I think I'm just going to.
Tell him I'm going to turn the Zoom. Let's see if that helps.
Mr. Boswell, in the video that was shown, the trailer was labeled Omami's
Yeah,
residence.
yeah, that's right.
Just so we're clear, the jury doesn't get confused.
Yeah,
Omami,
yeah.
who is that, or what is
That's
that?
my mom.
Okay. Is that a nickname that?
Yeah,
Megan
it's a
had?
nickname.
Okay.
We always start calling her.
Okay. So that's where she lived.
Yeah.
Mr. Boswell, at any point in time, did you ever see, or did Megan ever come up to your property with Hunter and have Evelyn with her?
No. Not that I can remember it, no.
Okay.
Because the last time I seen Evelyn was on Thanksgiving.
Mr. Boswell, one other thing that was shown in the drone footage there,
Mhm.
there was a camper that was sitting in front of
Mhm.
the trailer. That camper was not sitting there
No,
back
no,
in 2020.
no,
Is that
no,
right?
That's right.
Okay. But everything else as far as
Everything else is actually same.
positions of the
Yeah,
buildings,
other than camp.
okay, that was accurate. Thank you, Mr. Boswell. If you would, answer
Okay,
any
you're welcome.
questions Mr. Scott has for me.
Can I get some water, please? Something to drink.
Tell you what, before you start, let's take our morning break. We'll take about 15 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
One stand, please.
Okay.
You may be seated, but Mr. Boswell, during this
Yes, sir.
break, you're instructed not to discuss your testimony with any other witness or allow any witness to discuss your testimony.
Okay,
You can step down. We'll get you a ball.
okay, thank you.
Judge, just so the court's aware.
Hey guys, Preston Ayers, News 5 WCYB. We're going to hop on here just real quick. If you're watching in the live stream, wondering what happened to the sound, you can see in the background there, we are in a recess at the moment. We'll sort of clean that up there for just a second as well. We are in a recess. They're taking which is kind of customary this time of day. They take about a 10-minute a break, somewhere around 10:30. If you cover court, they give the jury a chance to step out, stretch their legs. You were hearing Tommy Boswell, Megan Boswell's father, testifying. He asked for some water. Once they start to file back into the courtroom, we'll of course get you right back in there. But if you haven't been following along all morning, I'm going to kind of take you back through what we've seen here on day number 2. It began really the court day began before the jury was in there when the judge made that ruling to allow the defense to play the video of the interview of Megan Boswell with the TBI and Sullivan County Sheriff's Department detectives there back in the early part of this investigation in February, I believe, of 2020 is when this would have been taken there at the sheriff's office. And in that video, which we'll have some more clips of this coming up, you can see if you haven't seen it, you can either scroll back or we'll have it for you, some of it on the air on our new newscast coming up at noon today. But Megan Boswell talks to the investigators about baby Evelyn and the fact that she knew at that point all along that she was dead. She described her body and that she had woke up, found her in her words in that video, that she wasn't breathing. And that she believed that someone may have rolled over on her or that she had died when they were sleeping in the bed, and that she gave the body, she wrapped her in a fleece blanket. We've heard a lot about that fleece blanket that she was found in that trash can in the playhouse. She wrapped her in that blanket and then had given her to her boyfriend, who she described in there, and that he took the body somewhere. She didn't know where it went to. She didn't know she'd been crying. This is what she was saying in the video to the TBI officers and the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office. And of course, they're pressing her to help find the body. And she said he could be under a dock house or some lake property that belonged to the boyfriend there, is where it could, or the boyfriend's family is where they could possibly be, but she didn't know. So that's where the defense had asked for that video to be able to be played. The judge, that's what was the legal issue yesterday that caused our delay at about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. They were able to bring that in and play that video. We talked about that. He went on to talk about how that he was found. And then from that point, the defense stopped their questioning. We're into the second witness now the prosecution has called, and we see Tommy Boswell, that is Megan Boswell's father, on the stand. He just finished the first direct examination with the prosecution. The defense gets their chance for their cross-examination coming up here. He asked for a drink of water or something to drink there. That's what led to the break, and that break's continuing on right now. Tommy Boswell described his relationship obviously had been strained with Megan throughout, and she at one point had ended up in foster care. She was living, according to Tommy Boswell, with her mother, and she had grown up most of the time, according to the testimony, with his parents. Megan's grandparents is where she lived much of her childhood. They're on kind of the same Boswell property, even where Evelyn's body was found, just at another house there on the property. But she had lived most of the time with her mother, and it had ended up in foster care, according to Tommy, for not going to school. And it's while she was in foster care that she gave birth to Evelyn. I believe they're getting ready to get back into the courtroom. We'll stop here and take you back in as we continue our live stream coverage of the Megan Boswell trial. Well, they may not be starting back just yet. The jury not back in there. We'll invite you to join us coming up on News 5 at noon at the top of the hour. We'll have complete coverage. Our Kristen Kwan will be able to step out at that point and have more on what's happened in the courtroom today. That's coming up over on television on News 5 beginning today at noon. Of course, our streaming coverage continues here on all of our platforms digitally as we continue to cover the Megan Boswell trial in day number 2 and now witness number 2 in testimony.
Boswell, 2 felony convictions. They are dated, they're dated 9/24/2014. They're entered, I guess, 10/1/14, so that would be the working date the judgments were entered against him. One is for, sorry, I had the wrong judgments. I separated. Let me start over with that. I propose to impeach him with 2 felony convictions, one from aggravated assault, judgment entered 12/11/14, and one for kidnapping, entered 10/1/14. Obviously, those are over the 10-year time limit, but I would suggest that the court, given that the delay in this trial caused in large part because of COVID. This started in COVID, and if you'll remember, when this started, I think the court was trying no cases. And I think the docket really, nothing was being tried for several months there afterward. Ms. Boswell did have a counsel change, but as I recall, I came in on the first date. I set this trial date and never asked for another continuance. My approach?
Yeah.
Well, Judge, that is outside the 10-year time period.
Here's the time period. Evidence of the conviction of this rule is not admissible if a period of more than 10 years has elapsed between the date of release from confinement and commencement of the action or prosecution. If the witness was not confined, the 10-year period is measured from the day of conviction rather than release. It looks to me like the prosecution was commenced February 25th, 2020. Right? That's when the
Yes,
affidavit
yes. the
complaint was signed. And that would be the commencement of the action.
Yes.
So 10 years from 12/11/14 will be 12/11/24.
Yes.
Basic math. That means that for purposes of Rule 609, it's within the 10-year period. Because it says you got straight probation, so there was no period of confinement. So you go from the date of conviction. Well, the judge signed it on 12/11/14. Sentence was imposed on 12/9/14. So 2/25/2020 is within the 10 years. June, are you following the law?
I yes, sir.
So these are both felony convictions. They appear to fall within 10 years as contemplated by Rule 609A, B. So you'll be allowed to ask about it.
Thank you.
Now, I do expect you to follow 609 You ask him, if he says yes, that's the end of it. If he says no, then
Just so I'm clear, I can ask about each offense. I can ask him, you're convicted of kidnapping on this date, you're convicted of aggravated assault.
yes. Do you want us to now, are we ready to proceed?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Did we get him a bottle of water?
I think so. Didn't
Why, complained last night because I looked all hunched over all the time. She's like, sit up straight. The problem is I can't see if I don't hunch over. I hunch over because it gets from the distance from my reading glasses. Did you get some more?
If you don't care. All right. Yeah, I left it in the room. I didn't know to bring it back in.
All right. We ready to proceed, Mr. Scott?
Yes, sir.
Jim?
Yes, sir.
If the jury's ready to bring me in.
I'm gonna close this if that's okay.
That's
One stand, please.
Thanks, sir.
You may be seated, thank you.
Just not in the cross.
Morning, Mr. Boswell. My name's Gene Scott. I represent your daughter.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Same better.
Understand. Got just a couple of things I want to ask you. I guess initially, you were convicted in this court of aggravated assault on December the 9th, 2014, felony offense.
What's that got to do with this case, sir?
Yes or no?
You
Yes.
answer this question.
And likewise, you were convicted of kidnapping on 9/24/2014 in this court of a felony offense. Is that correct?
I took a plea bargain on it, yeah,
Were you convicted?
because I took a plea bargain. I didn't take it forward. But since 2012, I've not had a speeding ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, you were convicted in 2014. You said since 2012 you haven't done anything.
2014. No, that was 2012.
I don't think this line of questions.
I wasn't convicted enough in 14.
All right, we're gonna move on.
I was not convicted enough in 14.
He was.
We had a jury out hearing about what he could ask as far as that was concerned. Now we're just going to-
Go ahead, Mr. You can-
Mr. Boswell, I want to ask you just a few questions, to follow up on your direct examination testimony.
Yes, sir.
Initially, I'll just start going backwards. We saw that drone video of your property. When was that taken? Do you know?
He stated the date. I don't remember dates and times.
That was taken after this investigation
Yeah.
had commenced.
Yeah.
Correct, after Evelyn's body was found, obviously.
Yeah.
And talked about you have a gate
Yes, sir.
clicker, and I think you volunteered in your direct testimony that appeared on the drone video. If someone wanted to walk into that property, they just have to walk around the fence. It's not, you could walk in there.
Yeah,
easily.
you can walk in there.
It's not secured that someone couldn't walk in there.
Right.
And you said that Megan had a opener to the gate.
Yeah.
What kind of openers are those?
It's like a little key fob thing, and you stick them on your sun visor, just like your garage door opener, sort of.
Okay. And that was something she kept in her car?
Yeah.
So anyone who had her car would potentially have that. Is that reasonable?
Yep, somebody had her car.
You talked about a day that you saw Megan backed up to that yard barn with her trunk open.
Yes, sir.
Did you talk to her that day?
No, I was in a hurry. My boy, I think, had a seizure or something going on, and I had to get back up the hill to take care of him. But as I drove by, I seen her car backed up to that building with the door that rolled up and the trunk open. I never seen her,
Didn't see her, just the car.
just the car.
Also, you talked about Megan telling you at some point that Hunter's mom was babysitting Evelyn. You remember that?
Mhm.
Was Hunter present for that conversation?
No, not that I remember.
Not that you can remember, or do you know, one way or the other?
I don't think so, sir. I don't want to lie to you, but I don't
Appreciate that.
think so.
Were you present for all the searches conducted by law enforcement on your property?
Most time, yeah.
How many searches were conducted on your property?
Just the one, I think.
You don't recall a search on February 23rd of 20?
That's when they brought the dog out, I think.
Okay. Who brought the dog?
TBI guy, I guess. I don't know who he was.
And that was prior to Evelyn's body being found.
Yeah, that's before.
And obviously, they didn't find anything that day.
No,
Did you watch them run the dog?
not really. I watched some of it. I mean,
Okay. Did you see the dog pass in proximity to the playhouse?
they was mainly concerned down in there in that bottom where it's filled in at and back like that farm
Mm-hmm.
that joins my property back around in there.
They searched the whole property though, didn't they?
I don't think they brought the dog on top of the hill. I don't know. I didn't watch them the whole time.
You didn't watch it? you
No, when they got the dog out, that's where they were at, down there in the bottom. And then I turned around doing something else.
You talked on your direct examination about how Megan come to move out of your home.
Mhm.
There's some kind of discord, I guess, with you, her, Ashley, about the way she kept her room.
Yes, sir.
Did you kick her out, basically?
No, I didn't kick her out.
What'd you do?
She went to my mother's, and I had a trailer waiting on her that her and my soon-to-be ex-wife Ashley cleaned up and got ready for her to move into.
Now, I want to talk to you about the dollhouse. Like you're the one that suggested that to law enforcement that they should search that. Is that right?
How all I got started was about the phone. Me and Ashley was talking about the phone. They come and got the phone, and then me and Ashley kept talking. I said, "What about that stuff Megan put down there in Dad's building?" So she called them back. They come back, went down there, and as I was leaving, I said, "Oh, there's the playhouse Dad had built for her too."
But just to be clear, you didn't see Megan put anything in the building. You saw her car.
I just seen her car,
Not
and the
Megan.
trunk was wrapped. I didn't see nobody.
How Had you,
I'm more concerned about my son. I had to go get his medicine because he had a seizure.
oh, the day you saw the car?
Yeah, yeah.
I understand.
So I was getting it up the hill to take care of him.
And had you never thought, when did you start to suspect the child could be on your property?
I didn't expect child's on my property.
Why did you call them to come down to the yard barn?
To see if there's a clue in that stuff she put in the building. Because I worked right hand in hand with the law enforcement that tried to help them every way I could.
When's the last time you were in that dollhouse?
I couldn't tell you, sir. It's been years.
It's been years since you've been in.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you when's the last time I've been in that dollhouse. Half them buildings down there, I don't go in.
How big is your property?
11 acres, 10.9 acres to be exact.
How close is that dollhouse to your house?
It's about 600 feet away, 700.
Close to your mother's house?
Yeah.
You go see your mother often?
But when I go to my mom's, she could go into the back because she can't get up down her steps. So I cut her spot out around the back. So she go in the back, not to climb the steps. So we're going out the back.
But you were down there at your mom's during that time frame, weren't you?
Not that much sometimes.
Okay, have 1 second, Judge. No further questions. Thank you, Mr. Boswell.
You agree? Is he free to go, or does he need to remain under?
I would say under subpoena, Judge, we would ask that he not watch the trial or talk about it. We expected that.
Mr. Boswell, you're finished with your testimony for now.
Okay,
You're
sure.
being subject to recall.
Okay.
So you're not to discuss your testimony with any other witness or allow any witness to discuss their testimony with you. You specifically ordered not to watch the live broadcast.
Okay. Oh, I never watched TV anyway. Thank you, sir.
Sorry, Ned.
Statement called Austin Feller.
Mr. Boswell, sit right there.
Raise your right hand, sir. State your name.
Austin Beller?
You solemnly swear or affirm testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
See record. Speak in the microphone for us.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
You're Austin Feller, is that correct?
Yes,
All right. And Mr. Feller, at one point in time, did you live at a trailer park out on Sugar Hollow Road?
yes,
And is that in Sullivan County?
yes.
All right. And why were you living there at that particular location?
Because at the time I was working for Tommy and Sons Paving, and they said I could live there for free if I were to do maintenance on the trailer park.
And was that back in 2019?
Yes.
I'm going to hand you two pictures, Mr. Feller, and ask you if you recognize what's shown in those pictures.
Yeah, I recognize him.
Okay. Okay, and what are they? What is it?
The pictures of the trailer that she lived in.
Okay, and when you say she, you're referring to Megan Boswell?
Yes, sir.
All right, and were you living out there at those trailers in Sugar Hollow when Miss Boswell moved in?
I never met her in person.
Okay.
I think time I moved out there, she was already out and kind of unknown whereabouts.
Do you recognize those photos as being the trailer that she lived in?
Yes.
And are they true and accurate depictions of the outside of the trailer?
Yes, sir.
Judge, we would move to make those, I believe it's 2 photos, be 49 and 50.
The objection?
No, sir.
You feels good at 49.
I'm going to publish those to the jury. Mr. Feller, is that, I'm showing what's been introduced as exhibit 49. Does that show the outside of the trailer looking at it from the front?
Yes.
And then I'm going to show you exhibit 50. What does that show?
The front of the trailer.
Just a little closer view.
Yeah.
All right. Now, at some point in time while you were working out there, living in those trailers for Mr. Boswell, were you asked to clean out that particular trailer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you remember when that was?
Exact date, no, but it was probably about a week and a half after I moved into the trailer. I lived in there.
Okay. When was that?
It's been like 5 years ago.
Okay.
I couldn't give you an exact date.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
That's fine. All right. And did you in fact go to that trailer and clean it out?
Yes.
If you would kind of describe for the jury what you found when you got inside there.
When I got in the trailer, there was dirty diapers stuck and molded to the floor of the carpet. Couldn't even open the fridge. It was so bad. I just left it alone, let Tommy and them deal with it. There was open jugs of milk in the oven, food on the ground, just feces on the ground. It's very nasty. Just not clean at all. Bad.
All right. And did you take photos of what it looked like?
I did, but I don't have those photos of that phone anymore.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
Approach.
Mr. Feller, I'm going to hand you 6 photographs and ask you if you can identify what's shown in those photos.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Those are the photos you took that show the inside conditions of the trailer.
Yeah.
All right. Do they accurately depict the condition of the inside of the trailer when you found it?
They do.
Judge, I'd move to make those the next 6 exhibits.
The,
51 through 56.
51.
has to publish that to the jury judge. Fella, I'm going to start with exhibit 51. Can you tell us what we're seeing in this particular photo?
The bedroom.
And that's the condition in the state you found it in when you
Yes.
entered. You did not move or toss anything or otherwise.
Everything you see is exactly what I walked into.
Now I'm going to show exhibit 52. What are we looking at there?
The hallway into, I believe, the daughter's bedroom.
All right. And again, you did not.
Ladies and gentlemen, sustain that objection. Within no foundation, that he would know that was the daughter's bedroom. I'm going to instruct that you're not to consider that statement for any purpose of deliberation. If you can do that, raise your right hand. Every juror is raised right hand. Go ahead, Jim.
All right. So, Mr. Feller, this is the picture. You're not sure, you don't know, have any knowledge as far as who was staying in what particular rooms, but that's another angle and picture you've taken from inside the trailer.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct? Now showing exhibit 53.
I think that was the walking into her room, Megan's room.
Well, don't speculate as to whose rooms.
Gotcha. Okay.
Same instruction.
So you've taken a photo looking into another bedroom. Is that
Yes.
correct? Now it's showing exhibit 54, where what's shown in that photo.
The living room.
All right. And again, you did not place or move or disturb anything. That's exactly as you saw it.
Exactly what I saw when I walked into. From the kitchen going into the living room.
All right. This is exhibit 55. All right. You're standing in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That where that's taken from.
Yes.
And exhibit 56.
Kitchen.
It's a photo looking in on the stove and the refrigerator that way. Is that
Mhm.
correct?
Yes.
And again, you did not place any objects, move any objects prior to taking these photos.
No, sir.
After you removed all these items from, or what did you do with the stuff after you took these photos?
I was instructed to take it to the back of the driveway where the Tommy and Sons had a big dump truck, and they just used equipment and put most of it in there.
Did you remove all that, lack of a better term, trash and stuff that we saw?
Everything, trash, carpet. I mean, completely remodeled the whole entire thing.
What was the condition? I mean, was it like inside after you got all that stuff out of there?
After I got everything out, I mean, I had to rip up subflooring and put down new subflooring and linoleum, and I mean, it was bad.
Was there any sort of odor or anything in the trailer?
I had to use respirators to enter the house.
Was there any particular reason why you had a respirator on?
It's just such a foul odor coming from the just moldy milk and food and dirty diapers that were laying out. Just bad smell.
Thank you, sir. If you would answer any questions, Mr. Scott.
Morning, Mr. Fellers.
Morning.
When, you don't know when you moved in out of the trailer park?
It's been so long, I couldn't really give you an exact date.
Without giving me an exact date, was it before or after Christmas of 2019?
I think after. I think so.
Do you remember what the weather was like when you were cleaning out the trailer?
It was warm.
It was warm,
Yes.
so probably
Probably
February,
probably before Christmas, and if it was warm.
before Christmas if it was warm. How much before Christmas?
I like I said, I couldn't give you an exact date or anything like that. I just knew that it was pretty warm outside. I didn't really need much of a coat, just some long sleeves or, you know.
You never met Megan.
No, sir.
So the pictures, you took those contemporaneous with cleaning it out.
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Just because it was the worst thing I've ever seen. I've never cleaned out a place like that looked like that.
Just wanted to show people what it looked like.
Well, to show Tommy and them because they didn't step inside or go inside. They just wanted it cleaned. So gave those pictures to them.
Thank you so much.
Sir.
Nothing further, Judge. I don't think, Judge, I think he can be released.
Mr. Feller, thank you for your testimony today. You're released from your subpoena.
Thank you.
Statement called James Lewis. Lewis, yes.
Raise your right hand, sir. State your name.
James Lewis.
You solemnly swear affirm testimony about you the truth, whole truth, and the truth.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
You are James Lewis, is that correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Lewis, where are you employed?
With the Department of Children's Services.
What is your current assignment there?
Currently, I'm a supervisor for the department in the Division of Child Protective Services.
How long have you been employed by, we call it DCS for short?
Yeah.
All right. How long have you been employed there?
I've been with DCS for 6.5 years now.
Back in February, specifically February 18th of 2020, what was your assignment with the department at that time?
Yeah, so my role at the department during that time was an investigator to investigate reports that we received in Child Protective Services.
So in other words, well, maybe explain for the jury how that process works as far as you're referring to allegations of child abuse.
Yes,
Is that right?
correct.
Okay, so if you
Yes.
would kind of educate the jury a little bit about how that process works.
So the department receives referrals of reports of abuse or neglect. We receive a report from our Nashville office that receives the intake, then it gets sent over to the worker. And then from there, we review the report, the allegations that came into the report, and then we start following our policy and procedures that can be found, outlined in 14.6 for policy and procedures, and start investigating, doing internet checks and background searches, and really just start notifying important personnel that need to be involved in the case. For example, like our Child Protective Investigation Team in Sullivan County.
Back on February 18th, 2020, did you get a referral that was made on a 15-month-old child by the name of Evelyn Boswell?
Yes,
All right. And was that particular referral assigned to you?
it was.
For purposes only of explaining why you did what you did, what was the nature of the abuse allegation?
The allegations in the report.
Yes. All right. If you would,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
The allegations that came into the report that day state a lack of supervision and physical abuse.
In regards to Evelyn Boswell. Is that
Evelyn
correct?
Boswell, yes.
Okay. So after you get the referral, what's the first step you take after that?
Typically, the first step when we receive these reports is we would reach out to the person that made the report, and then we would see if there was any additional information that needed to be added or to clarify the report in general. And then from there, my next step was to reach out to any collateral contacts and notify our Child Protective Investigation Team partners.
Okay. You used a term or a phrase, collateral contacts. For those of us who don't know, what are you talking about?
Yeah, so a collateral contact would be someone that lives outside the home, anybody that would have information to the report. That's what we refer to whenever I say collateral contact.
You've identified, and we've talked about the fact that this referral involved Evelyn Boswell. Were you able to identify who the parents of the child were?
I was able to understand that, come to learn that the parents of Evelyn Boswell was only, to my knowledge, at that point in time, it was Megan Boswell, the mother, was the parent.
All right. And did you attempt to locate where Megan Boswell was at that time?
Yes.
Okay. As part of your file there at DCS, do you all obtain birth certificates or other documents that would, I guess, identify who the parents of the child were?
Yes,
And did you, in this case, obtain a copy of Evelyn's birth certificate
I did.
as part of your case file?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis, I'm going to hand you a document and ask you if you can identify it. What is it, sir?
So this is the certificate of live birth for Evelyn Mae Boswell, child.
Okay. And is that the birth certificate that you obtained of Evelyn for this
Yes.
particular case?
It is.
All right. Judge, we would move to make that exhibit. I believe it's 57.
No objection. 57.
All right. Mr. Lewis, you indicated that you were able to learn where Megan Boswell was that particular time. Did you then, what was the next step in your investigation?
Once I received information from Detective Tracy Jerez, who I was working the case with, that she had sent patrol officers out to the home that Megan Boswell was living at to see if Megan was there, and that she had received information that Megan had just arrived at the home. And then from that point in time, Detective Tracy Jerez and myself decided to go to the home to speak with Megan Boswell.
Okay. And where was this home?
The address is 217 Sandy Point Drive, or Sandy Point Street, Bluntville, Tennessee.
And just generally, where is that located?
It's in Bluntville. It wasn't
Okay.
far from my office. I couldn't give you.
Okay, it's here in Sullivan County.
Yes, in Sullivan County.
All right, did it take you all long to get there?
No, it did not take us that long.
Okay. What did you find when you arrived there at that address?
So when we pulled into the address, we saw the patrol officers with Megan Boswell in the garage of the home.
What kind of, just generally describe what kind of home this is for the jury.
The home is it's a 2-story house. It had a basement, larger, more of a typical subdivision type home. From the outside, the appearance, it was very well kept. It was a typical home that you would find in maybe one of your more newer built subdivisions, is the way I would describe it.
All right. So you arrive, Miss Boswell is there at the residence, is that correct?
Yes.
Anybody else there present with her?
Outside of myself, Detective Tracy Jerez, and the patrol officers, no.
Was Evelyn there with her?
No.
Okay. What did you do next as far as your investigation was concerned?
My next steps was to notify Megan Boswell of the report that the Department of Children's Services received, the allegations in the report, and to conduct some inquiry as to where Evelyn was, and to ask questions concerning Evelyn, to check on her well-being and her safety. So I initiated the conversation to learn where Evelyn was and to see if we could observe Evelyn to ensure that she was safe and that she was okay.
Specifically, did you ask Miss Boswell where Evelyn was at that particular time?
I did.
Okay, and what was her response?
Megan informed myself and Detective Tracy Jerez that Evelyn was with Ethan Perry.
Did you know who Ethan Perry was at that time?
At that time, it come to my knowledge that he was the alleged father of Evelyn Boswell.
Did Miss Boswell tell you that?
Yes. She did tell me that Evelyn was with her dad.
Okay. Did Megan give you any sort of contact information for how you could get in touch with Ethan?
She did not.
What was her demeanor while you were talking to her about her daughter?
The way I would describe Megan's demeanor, it wasn't much affect. When I say that, I would say there wasn't much emotion as concern. I didn't notice any concern when speaking with Megan. She just stuck at that point in time to telling us that Evelyn was with Ethan, and then from there, I asked her to show me, of course, evidence that a child had been with her.
Okay. All right. So did you go inside the house with her? How did you do that?
She invited me into the home and walked me through the home. Nothing at that point in time appeared to be observable to be outside of a typical home. I didn't see any safety concerns as far as what we may consider a safety concern for a child at that age. She walked me. I asked to see a crib or a pack and play. She said that those items were elsewhere, that she didn't have any of those items. She proceeded to lead me to the bedroom where she could show me some items of Evelyn's. And so I followed her to the bedroom.
All right. And did you observe any items?
I asked her what items she did have. She proceeded to tell me that she had an outfit and what she called a memory box.
You said an outfit. Was that one singular outfit?
I observed one outfit, yes.
Do you see any other baby items, diapers,
No.
anything like that?
After she showed me the memory box and opened it to observe some items in it and the outfit that was still on the hanger, it was new and it hadn't been worn. And she took me downstairs to show me a sippy cup.
Okay. And did you take a photograph or a picture of these items that she showed you?
I did.
All right. Mr. Lewis, I'm going to hand you 4 photographs and ask you if you can identify what's shown in those photos. Do you recognize those?
Yes.
What are they photos of?
This first photo is the photograph of what she described as the sippy cup.
That's fine. Go to the next one.
And then the next photo I'm looking at is the bedroom that she reported to be staying in with Preston Wood.
All right. The next one.
The next photo is the photo of the what she described as the memory box.
Okay. Is there one more?
And the next photo is the outfit that she showed to me.
All right.
On the hanger.
And do you recognize those as being the photos that you took that day while you were in the residence?
Yes.
And are they true and accurate photos of what you saw?
Yes.
Judge, we've moved to make those exhibits 58 through 61. Judge, I'm going to ask to publish those if I could. Mr. Lewis, I'm showing what's exhibit 58. What is that photo of?
This is a photo of the cup that Megan Boswell informed me that Evelyn Boswell would drink from.
Is that the only kind of dish or spoon or item of silverware that she showed you that
Yes.
belonged to Evelyn? Now looking at exhibit 59, what's that a photograph of?
That's a photograph of Megan Boswell standing in the room where she reported to be living with Preston Wood.
Did you observe any items, any baby items, toys, clothing, anything else in that room?
No.
Now looking at exhibit 60, what is that?
That is the box that Megan Boswell has showed to me. That she described as the memory box with items of a rattler, handprint, and footprints of Evelyn.
Did you take any of these items at this time, or did you just take photographs of it?
I just took photographs.
And now showing you exhibit 61.
This is a photograph of the outfit that Megan showed me belonged or was Evelyn's, but it was still on the hangers and had tags on it. It's new.
Okay. You tailed off a little bit there. Did you say it still had tags on it?
Yes.
Any other items of children's clothing that she was able to show you?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been informed your lunch is here, so we're gonna stop. We'll be back at 1:15. Mr. Lewis, I'm gonna instruct you not to discuss your testimony, any other witness, any witness and stuff that has come with you, not walking in the last room of the trial. Can you cut that now? And, come back.
Yes, sir.
So one stand, please. You may be seated. Thank you. Be recessed.